hurry up and get to my spot so we can get this video done and over. I'm just gonna spin around and I'll park and get out and talk about what today's video is all about. All right, let me get out of track mode and get out so we can talk. I'm gonna leave the car running because the AC is nice and cool. It's 93 degrees and I don't feel like dealing with being in a warm car or hot car before letting it cool off again. So we're gonna talk about the interior on these Hellcats. I'm coming up on 5 years of ownership, and the interior, I would have to say, has held up incredible on this Hellcat. On my Daytona 392, the 2017 that I had, there was a huge issue with the door panels. I did videos on it, and a lot of people spoke up that were having the same issues with their door panels, all right, with that material that they were using back then before they changed it over. It was that like basketball kind of like texture material. It had that basketball look. It was all black, but it had that kind of orange peel, like I said, like a basketball. Some people call it elephant skin, whatever you want to call it. But that material was horrible, all right? It had so many issues in the heat, and your door panels would start to separate right here. Along the top, door panels were starting to separate. On my car, on that 2017 that I had 4 years ago, it happened to me. It started to separate here. I don't think it did it on the passenger side, but I was trying to get the word out, and a lot of people spoke up saying that they were having the same problem. So Dodge accepted the issue and said that they would cover it under warranty. They were going to replace, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, it was my passenger side. It was my passenger side. They were going to replace the passenger side door insert, the door panel, the insert for the door panel on the passenger side. Before that can get done, I traded that car in and I got this Daytona Hellcat, and it never got addressed because I got rid of the car. But I heard that a lot of people were having the same issues with their Chargers, all right, and it must have been that old material that they were using, because it was a huge widespread problem. And I think that Dodge heard those videos, heard those complaints from numerous people, and they changed the material, all right? They didn't want to address that they knew they were wrong with that old material. When I would call, representatives would tell me that they knew nothing about it. Dodge knew nothing about it, and I found that hard to believe. But they did go to a better quality interior that I'll show you again. So as you can see, this is more like a leather. It's actually real leather this time. So, you know, instead of that fake looking material that they were using before. So if you had that issue back then, and there's still people still to this day, as I'm doing this video, sending me comments to that old video that I did saying that they also have the issue with their door panels. Some people have told me that their actual center console has started to lift up, their dash. So be mindful of it. If you buy one of those cars before, I would say 2020, maybe the 2019s, 2018s, 2017s for sure, you'll probably have, all the way down to 2015, you're going to have probably more than likely door panel issues if they haven't already been replaced. And you know, like I said, at this point, I know it's not going to be covered by warranty, because most of those cars are out of warranty. Dodge has already moved on, and they've already changed the actual material, so they're not going to go back to some old cases and, you know, cover that. So just know that going in. A lot of people maybe still don't know. I'll put cards up, or I'll put links in the description portion of this video of those old videos that I did, just something to keep your eye out on. But as far as my actual interior thus far, perfect. I can't complain. I do have to say that they did improve the issue, and they made this car way better as far as the interior. Of course, yes, I have the Daytona Hellcat with the Alcantara, the suede headliner seats, you know, steering wheel, and of course real carbon fiber, and of course that you know, that real leather that they put now in the car. So it's not that fake whatever that was material that they had before. Back seats are still mint. I have I have cleaners that I use that are made for that material, for that suede that I use, that I've put up. I'll put a product up inside of my description. You'll see the product that I use. I did a video on that also, so check that out. But just a retouch on that video on that topic. If you still are unaware of that, be aware of it. Just make sure on those older cars you could come across an issue where your door panels are starting to separate from the actual frame of that door, and it's a widespread problem. Like I said, if you have one of those older cars, you have to deal with that. But if you have, I would say, a 2020 and up, I don't know if the 2019s is where they actually changed the material and upgraded it. I'm not really sure, but 100% on the 20s and up, because that's what I have. I have a 2020 and it has been changed. So it has been improved, it has been upgraded. So I've heard cases in that video that I did that center consoles were starting to lift. So you're driving straight ahead and your center dash, not console, your center dash could start to lift. That's what I've seen and I've heard people talk about that. So just something to be aware of. Let's get some B-roll of the car. Car is still dirty. It's supposed to be raining today, from what they say. So at about 5 p.m. So I didn't even want to waste my time washing the car when it's just gonna rain. But take a look at my actual dash so you can see it. Still looking good. I have a cleaner and a brush for the steering wheel, which I need to clean. I just haven't had a chance to do it, but so far no issues. Door panels on driver's side and passenger side still looking good. All of the Alcantara looking off the charts. GoPro Hero 13, talked about it yesterday. New camera, new vlogging camera to go along with all my GoPros. And of course this is my B camera, not my main camera, that I talked about yesterday in that video. So, but that was a little off topic, but just make sure you look at any kind of old or used car that you're thinking about buying, one of these Chargers that's basically below a 2020. I would say the 2019's down, 2019's down to for sure 2015's. The issue could be there. They may have already replaced it before you buy the car or reupholstered it, whatever you want to call it. But you just got to be careful when you're buying these cars and that be unknown to you and you buy the car and it's too late. So just a heads up. But check your interiors. Just a reminder for you guys that are in the market for these cars to check your actual material on those cars that are 19s down. So if you got a 2020, you should be fine, but anything below a 2020 that's a Charger or a Challenger, make sure you check the panels real good before you just buy that car. Look at the panels, look at the actual the center dash, make sure none of that is lifting off of the actual frame or it's starting to separate. You'll see a big separation if it's going bad, and then you need to get that addressed. So that is going to do it for this upload. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.